like my father. You know, it all started with him.
Clive Davis put Sean Combs in position. That's what Clive Davis does.
I wish that I had somebody that came in straight, you know, right after I won, that was like my manager now. Somebody who truly cared for me as a person before the music and all of that.
Honey, grab your tea and clutch those pearls because Fantasia just broke the silence. At 40, she didn't just speak, she confirmed what folks in the industry have whispered for years. And baby, it is worse than we imagined. She said it plain. The industry used her, drained her, and tossed her aside like she was nothing. Left her broke, alone. After giving everything, her soul, her voice, her heart, Fantasia was left to rot in the very system that destroyed Whitney Houston.
A lot of times when you come into this industry, you have people who say they're there for you, but a lot of times they're just there to get what they can get, or because money.
And who was sitting at the throne of that broken kingdom? Two names that keep showing up in tragedy after tragedy: Clive Davis and Sean Diddy Combs.
Really care about you as a person and want to see. They don't think long run. They don't think future. It's just about right now.
They don't care about you as a person. Fantasia said it loud and clear. They don't think long term. It's just about right now. And now with Diddy's federal trial unraveling secrets that were never meant to see daylight, suddenly Fantasia's breakdown feels a lot less random. Feels like a pattern. And the receipts? Baby, she just confirmed what those lawsuits had been screaming about Diddy.
Finished her testimony today. She claimed at one point that Diddy had hit Cassie with a skillet and said, quote, he said you could go missing, that we could jump.
So how did it start? How did a girl with the voice of a generation end up in so much pain? Fantasia Barrino was the American Cinderella, a single mom from North Carolina who didn't even finish high school, but when she opened her mouth to sing on American Idol, she stunned the nation. She won hearts, she won votes, she won at—
Congratulations.
19, she was a superstar, but behind that glittering victory was a beast she never saw coming. A ruthless industry that smiles for the cameras and slaughters behind the scenes. Nobody warned her. By 26, Fantasia was done, sitting in a closet, gripping a bottle of aspirin, ready to leave this world behind.
Allegedly, you took a fistful of aspirin and went in the closet in your bedroom?
Yeah. A lot of times when you come into this industry, you have people who say they're there for you, but a lot of times they're just there to get what they can get, or because money.
She didn't sugarcoat it. There was no fake spin. That moment, she wasn't thinking about her daughter, her fans, her future. She wanted the pain to stop. And when she looked around, the people who were supposed to protect her, gone. Vanished. That's where Clive Davis steps in. Yes, that Clive, the so-called godfather of music. The man behind Whitney, Alicia Keys, Janis Joplin. But when they asked him if he prepared young artists for fame, this man had the nerve to say, I don't get involved in their personal lives. That coldness, it costs lives. Fantasia would later say that nobody was looking out for her. Nobody said, girl, don't buy that car. Check your accountant. Save your money. She was a kid thrown to the wolves. And who was watching over Clive Davis as he ran the show? None other than Diddy, the man now sitting in federal court, neck deep in allegations of intimidation and pure darkness. Let's not forget, former Danity Kane singer Dawn Richard testified that Diddy once told her, people can disappear if they cross me. Fantasia, she was just another voice swallowed by their empire.
Money than we have, Fantasia.
You don't know that. Okay. A lot of artists that you see, they look like they have it. And we smile and we come out and we put on a good show. But in real life, some of them are struggling and we don't have it. I'm just now building myself back up. I lost everything.
But it wasn't just about money. It was the betrayal, the abandonment. Fantasia said everyone she started with, they were gone, left her to clean up the mess, alone. And that haunting feeling of being discarded, we've heard it before. So many artists tied to Clive Davis ended up dead, broke, addicted, or lost. And now, with Diddy's mess dragging everything into court, people are finally asking the hard questions. Was Fantasia just another casualty? Or is she the rare survivor who lived to tell it? Let's be real. Fantasia wasn't just young, she was vulnerable. She had no one. No mentor, no lawyer she could trust, no one to explain the lies in those contracts. She's been honest about it ever since.
Endorsement deals coming, you're on tour. There's so many different money coming in from every different what you raise. So you being 19, you're on the road, they bring somebody and say, okay, this is such and such, nice to meet you, they're gonna be your accountant, and this is, you know what I mean? It's like a fast, everything is so...
And just when she was trying to get her footing, her own father sued her for defamation over her book. That's right, her father, Clive, placed her on J Records. Her first album, a hit. The second, a flop. And when that happened, everybody vanished. The support dried up, the money evaporated. That's not a fluke. That's not bad luck. That's a trap. This wasn't about making her win, it was about using her up. Because that's what the industry does to young black women. They cash in, then cut you loose. And this wasn't just about her bank account, it was about her spirit. When Fantasia played Celie in The Color Purple on Broadway, she said it was like living her own life on stage, silenced, thrown away. She almost turned down the movie in 2023 because it would have forced her to reopen those wounds. She didn't want to go there again.
Walk is not an easy walk.
No.
And she carries a lot. She carries everybody. And at the time when I was doing Broadway, I was carrying everybody. And my life was so much like...
But in 2007, when she first played that role, she carried the pain home every night. Nobody showed her how to let go of that character, except Taraji P. Henson. Just one sister in the whole building reaching out. Because what Fantasia was carrying, it wasn't just acting, it was real. That trauma, that manipulation, it mirrored Whitney Houston's story almost perfectly. Both had gospel roots, both got launched into fame too young, both were tied to Clive Davis, both crumbled under the weight of the spotlight. It's not poetic. That's the truth. She's one of the only ones left. And now, with Diddy standing trial, with whispers swirling about who really controlled what, Fantasia's name is being reevaluated. She wasn't weak, she was set up. On August 9th, 2010, Fantasia's pain made headlines. But what those headlines didn't tell you was how long she'd been suffering. There were no cameras when she locked herself in that room, when she stopped eating, stopped talking. Not even her family noticed. Paparazzi were outside hounding her about some affair with a married man. But that wasn't the root. That was just the spark. The fire had been burning. She left goodbye notes to her daughter, to her little brother, to her mama. She placed them all in a book, made sure they'd be found. She sat in that closet. Hours passed. She looked in the mirror, took the pills, meant it. And when she woke up in a hospital bed, hooked to IVs, she was furious, not at the world, at herself. She had lived, and she wasn't ready. But baby, the world found out. TMZ, CNN, it was everywhere. But they missed the point. The industry always has a plan to fix the image, but not the person. Fantasia was discharged under the condition she get therapy, and for the first time, she stopped pretending. In those therapy rooms, she saw lawyers, CEOs, broken too. But the pressure didn't stop. She had a tour coming, an album dropping. The label was breathing down her neck. Rest? Please. She knew she couldn't afford to rest. Medium still spinning. That breakdown? It wasn't random. It was a direct result of a system built by Clive Davis and maintained by Diddy. But this time, the walls are cracking. Fantasia hit 40 and she said no more. She's not here for the charts. She wants peace. And during press tours for The Color Purple, she looked the world in the eye and said she made it. Fantasia wasn't just promoting a movie, she was reclaiming her soul. That same role, Celie, that nearly ended her back in 2007, now in 2023, she was playing it on her terms. She said no at first. She turned it down flat. She said hell no. Why? Because she knew what it would drag up. All that trauma, all that invisibility, all the ghosts of the girl they tried to break. But guess what? This time was different. This time she has support. A team that didn't just see her as a paycheck. She had family. She had therapy. She had healing. She wasn't coming back for fame. She was showing the world what survival looks like. Fantasia didn't hide what the industry had done to her. She wasn't afraid anymore. She made it crystal clear. The labels didn't save her. The executives didn't protect her. She survived because she fought back, because she refused to die. And when someone asked her if this was a comeback, ooh, she shut that all the way down. This ain't a comeback, she said. This is a come up. She doesn't need to call names. Fantasia doesn't have to say Clive or Diddy out loud. Her scars scream it louder than words ever could. Every tear, every breakdown, every comeback, they all tell the story. And now in 2025, with Diddy facing a full-on federal trial and Clive Davis's name creeping back into every shady conversation about the music industry's past, Fantasia's truth hits harder than ever because now we see the signs. Now we've heard the stories. Now we believe the women. Whitney didn't make it. Janis Joplin didn't make it. So many young women, especially black women, never got the chance to speak. Clive Davis touched all their lives, the ones who spiraled, the ones who vanished, the ones who got turned into cautionary tales. Fantasia, she learned to cook her own meals, drive herself, pay every single bill, not because she wanted to prove something to the world, but because no one else was left to do it. And let's not get it twisted. That's the part the industry never saw coming. They were banking on her falling apart again. Another overdose, another tragic press release, and sad tribute. But nope, Fantasia lived, and now she's watching the same machine that nearly killed her being ripped open in court, watching as those powerful untouchables, Clive, Diddy, and whoever else, is finally getting exposed. She watched the new generation say, wait, hold on, what are these contracts? Who owns my masters? What am I signing away? She watched girls like her wake up. And now Fantasia doesn't need revenge. She doesn't need a lawsuit. She doesn't need to drag anyone's name in interviews. Her life is the proof. Her testimony is enough. Her music, her faith, her fight, that speaks louder than the industry ever has. So when she says, "To God be the glory," she's not just saying it for herself. She's saying it for the girls who didn't survive, the ones who trusted Clive, who followed Diddy, who got used up and left for dead. She's saying it for the ghosts, for the Whitneys, for the Janices, for all the nameless voices who deserved better. And for once, this industry doesn't get the final word. Fantasia does. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.